I just want to point out on the 1-year chart, this is where I thought we were going to see some price action. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do a quick dive into Sofi as the technicals are now rolling over. This is one that I said is possibly going to be making a big move in the next few weeks here, and it looks like the big move could be to the downside, but I just want to go over everything with everybody. This is a stock I've covered for an extended period of time. This is a stock that I really thought was overvalued when it IPO'd. Book value has been growing in the stock, now sitting right around $3.90 of book value. Currently, the stock's trading around $7.06. When I actually shot this video, it was trading right around $7 and I think 15 cents. So a few things I want to talk through with Sofi. This is a company trying to transition away from loans and be a little bit more diversified. But the fact of the matter is we have to look at book value for this company because of the way the company's diversified currently. Now, they are making more money from technology platform and they are making more money on assets under management. And this is where I said we can get multiple expansion, meaning instead of trading at 1 to 1.2 times book value, we could actually be looking at more of a multiple to EBITDA, maybe even looking at 2 to 3 times book value, kind of looking at a Charles Schwab, I believe, as the setup to what this company can do. But currently, I think you need to stay focused on what they are, and they are a lending platform for the most part. On the 1-year chart, we hit a low of $5.21 and a high of $11.45. So automatically we see the volatility. This is a heavily shorted stock, and it's been trading in a wedge, which could mean nothing, but a lot of times we get a break out of a wedge, and it's usually to the upside or the downside depending on a few setups here. And the move can be substantial. With a company that has a smaller market cap, high short interest, and that's being followed a lot, I believe the move is going to be big, either to the upside or the downside. When we look at the 1-year chart, what are we starting to realize? We got a high here, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. And within that lower low, what are we noticing? It's right at what I believe a support line should be. Now, this can reverse back up and break above the 9-day moving average, and that would be the first bullish signal I would look for. The reason why that would be bullish is because it's respecting the uptrend line that's in place. It's breaking above a 9-day moving average, and we also have the 50-day moving average here in green that could also start breaking above. So this could reverse very, very quick. The first point of resistance is going to be the 200-day moving average, in my opinion, and that's going to be around $7.80. Now, this can start skyrocketing back up to around $8.75 to where the upper bound of this wedge is, and if we keep getting buying pressure and a break above that, we could absolutely see it retest $11.45. Now, on the contrary, where we're starting to see the downside risk is this could break pretty low, and it could have a tremendous amount of selling coming through. I'm not saying we're going to get back down to $5, but I wouldn't be shocked to see it approach the low 6s. Not only are we trading below major moving averages here, but also we're getting a 1 and a 2 count to the downside. So if we keep this 9 count in trend, it's going to be concerning for the line of support here on the wedge. Along with that, we're getting a rolling over of major conditions here, all the way from the TTM down to money flow and RSI and McClellan oscillator. Movement is definitely coming down here. We're breaking below major moving averages, and if we take out these lows, I do think it's going to be a problem. And the low right now looks to be right around $6.65. If we want to go off of a multiple to EBITDA, we can see here that, basically 11 to 12 times multiple makes sense for Sofi, as that's where the sector median is, and that's basically where your Charles Schwab and type of companies are going to be trading for. So before we plug in our multiple, I want to just make sure that I got Sofi's revenue correct here, and they're raising 2024 outlook to about 2.4 to 2.43. So if we're looking for pretty close to a double-digit rate of return, I need to be buying the stock around $5 to $6 and get a future price of around $11 to $12. And that's using a 12 times multiple of EBITDA. And as you guys can see here, this valuation was done a few years ago. So I can reach a little bit higher than $6 on the stock just because my valuation is for 2030. And this is a little bit older, so we're looking at 2.4 billion of revenue, and then hopefully next year they still grow around 20%, pushing it to 2.9. And I think they're quite capable of doing that. I think they're on the path of doing that. So I definitely think this becomes interesting around that 650 range. I understand anybody that reached around $7. This price target was for 2022 around $5 a share. Obviously, I've updated guidance, so that pushed the price up a little bit. And if you were able to get filled around that 550 mark, you've probably done pretty well on the stock if you've been subscribed to the channel. So we just try to keep an even keel look on the stock here, and I can understand getting in around that $6 range. And if we look at the chart here, I definitely think there might be a possibility for this chart to keep breaking down here and So without a catalyst coming out, I do think there's an opportunity for this chart to break down, sell off a little bit more, especially when we look at market conditions. Market conditions have been going up, but SoFi just keeps selling off here. So to me, I do think that it looks like the move could be coming down here. Obviously, there's still some more downside that it could go around that $6.80 to $6.90. You really want to see it hold that level. If it breaks below that and starts taking out these lows, I think you have a problem, and you can probably get in the stock around that $6.50 mark, which lines up with some of my fundamental analysis on the stock as well. So as always, guys, just want to jump on here, give you guys what I'm specifically seeing for SoFi. Hopefully you enjoyed, and we will see you in the next one.